This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face, you with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game, talk trash all you want. To me it's all the same, you won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gon' cry to your mama cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello everyone and welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by the beautiful and talented Maria Ho. A brand new episode of the HPT is on right now, and we come to you from the Sunshine State at one of our favorite properties, the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. Maria, I don't know what it is about this place, but every time we show up, we have more and more players.
You know, it's tough to nail it down to just one thing that we love about Daytona Beach. The staff is great here, the cash game action is always hot, and it probably doesn't hurt that we're just a 2-minute drive from the sandy beaches of the Atlantic Ocean.
So we had enough players in this main event to build a prize pool of over $500,000.
My favorite part of this job is seeing the look on the player's face when they're first crowned champion. We have a fun group of guys here today, and I'm excited to see one of them walk away with the title and more than $122,000 for the win.
With that said, let's go check out the chip counts and find out what these players are playing for.
Always a great prize pool here. First place is going to take home over $122,000. Second place, $79,000 and change. Third place, just under $50,000. And all 8 players are guaranteed to go home with at least $14,274. And our chip leader coming into this final table is Vincent Fiorenza. He's got $4 million in chips. Carlos Loving behind him has $1.6 million. Allen Wentz also has over $1 million. And our short stack is JC Restrepo. He's got $500,000 in change.
And we start with 8 players tonight, Maria, because we had a double elimination last night. So instead of 9, we've got 8. One of these players will be our new champ and go home with just over $122,000.
Blinds are $12,000, $24,000 with a $3,000 ante.
Action will start with Corey B in the 4 seat. We've got a Corey B, we got a Corey Z. The Corey B is going to raise to $50,000. Action now to the other Corey, Corey Z. He's going to make the call with 7-6 suited in clubs.
Have you ever played with those plaques before? They're kind of fun.
Yeah, first time I've seen these in Florida. We've been coming here now for 5 or 6 years, and I like them, and they look good on TV, too. I want to thank Dom Nero, the poker room manager here at the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room.
Allen calls from the big blind with ace-8 offsuit, and the flop is queen-3 deuce, 2 diamonds.
And we start with Allen. He's going to check it over to Corey B.
Corey here, who has connected with a top pair. He's going to check it over to Corey Z, though.
Corey Z looking for some plaques here. He's going to go ahead and bet 66,000 chips.
Hi, my name is Corey Zarnock. I'm currently living in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, and I work as a poker dealer. I think I'm the best player. I've always felt that way. At any table I've ever sat at, I sit down and think I'm the best player at this table. Whether that's right or wrong, who's to say? But I feel you have to attack the game as if from that position, from a position of strength and confidence.
And Allen is going to get out of the way with just ace high. And obviously Corey B was planning to check call here. He decided not to continuation bet, but of course he's not going to fold.
Corey's just going to make the call. We go to the turn card now. It's the 5 of spades.
So now actually Corey Z has a gut shot straight draw. Corey B still in the lead though with top pair, and he checks it over again.
Corey Z, he's going to bet 100,000 chips. Back over to Corey B.
And obviously this board is getting a little bit more wet for Corey B's hand. But again, I think he checked with the intention of calling one more street.
River card now is the 10 of diamonds. As you can see by the percentages there, Corey B, if he hangs around, he'll win this hand. He's going to check it over to Corey Z.
Well, obviously Corey Burbick here has improved to top 2 pair, but the flush did come in. So really at this point, Corey B's hand is just a bluff catcher. So he's not going to fold to Corey Z's bet of 130,000 here, but he certainly didn't want to bet that river and get raised.
Call.
And he does make the call, so we're going to flip over the cards. and see that Corey B is going to beat Corey Z and take down this pot of 778,000 chips.
I feel like our job is already hard enough. I don't appreciate them making it a little tougher having the same name and all.
I know. Corey B, Corey Z. This is going to get confusing, but I tell you what, we're having fun tonight here on the HPT, coming to you from the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. We'll be right back with more exciting final table action. Don't go too far. Welcome back to the HPT. It's James Larson and Maria Ho. We've had a great week down here in Florida at the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room, and this is turning into one of my favorite spots.
Yeah, we've come back here several times over throughout the years, and it's always been a great event. We have a lot of great players that made this final table, so let's check out the final table action.
Vincent Fiorenza is still the chip leader. He has over 4 million in chips. Carlos Loving and Corey Burbick follow him on the chip counts. And after that failed triple barrel bluff right before the break, Corey Z is our short stack with 292,000.
So we get back to our exclusive final table coverage here on the HPT. Blinds are 15-30 with a 4K. First to act will be Corey B. He's going to make the call. Vincent folds. Tim folds, and now over to JC, who looks down at 9-7. He's going to fold.
It's interesting that Corey B decided to limp in here with ace-king.
All right, Ryan is going to fold from the 1 seat, now over to the 2 seat of Carlos, who looks down at pocket fives.
And Carlos is going to call the extra 15K from the small blind, and Allen is going to check his option.
Hi, my name is Alan Wentz. I'm from Lancaster, Ohio. I'm an insurance agency owner. I'm looking to take down my first HPT tournament. Vincent has some big biceps, and he is very aggressive, and he's sitting to my left, so I have to be very cautious. I think he's a very good player.
Wow, look at that. The flop is king, jack, 5, couple of diamonds.
So Corey's actually flopped top pair, top kicker, but Carlos snuck in there with bottom set, and he just leads into the field here, betting 55,000.
Action now over to Corey B. He's going to make the call.
I think with this board texture, there's just so many draws possible that Corey B decides to just call.
And the turn card is the deuce of hearts.
Carlos obviously feeling great about his set of fives, but definitely looking to protect his hand against all of the draws possible.
Carlos has over 250,000 in lifetime earnings, and he's going to bet 150,000 chips. It's going to be real hard for Corey to get away from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Corey has much intention to fold this hand. Obviously, if maybe the diamond comes on the river or a Broadway card comes, then he might be willing to fold, but it's pretty hard for him to let this hand go.
The river card now is the 8 of clubs, and once again, Carlos is first. He's grabbing for those plaques, and it's a bet of 400,000.
There's just something so comfortable about the way Carlos has been betting into him every street. But, you know, Corey B can't fold this hand, and he's going to see that Carlos has a set here.
Corey B makes the call, and he's not real happy about it. Carlos is going to win this pot. Just over 1.3 million chip pot. Carlos talked about his favorite memory in poker. It was knocking out Eric Seidel in a $1,500 WSOP event. He had kings up against Eric's aces, and he flopped the king, and he won the hand. All right, first act now will be JC. He's going to fold.
Ryan also folds. Carlos also lets it go, and it's folded all the way around to the small blind of Vincent.
A lot of tattoos for this guy, Maria. Maybe he'll use some of his prize money to get another tattoo, possibly. He raises to 60,000 with Jack 9 of hearts.
Everybody I've ever talked to say that tattoos are addicting, which I could see that. And Tim goes all in here with pocket sixes. Tim's only got about 15 big blinds to start the hand, but I don't know if Vincent wants to raise call here with Jack 9 of hearts. If he saw Tim's hand, then he probably would, but you definitely have to think that you are further behind than having 2 overs like Vincent does.
You like your hand that much? You just like to call. 423 more? Yep.
Tim and his wife are expecting a new baby boy next month, so congratulations to them. All right, so Vincent's going to make the call, and we flip over the cards. Vincent's going to see he's behind. The pocket sixes of Tim going up against Jack 9 suited up in hearts for Vincent. Up top, by the way, 122,353, but the min cash tonight just over 14,000. The flop is 2 queens and a 5. Tim's in the lead, hoping to double up and keep his tournament hopes alive.
The turn is the 10 of spades, so actually that gives some more possibilities to Vincent here to turn an open-ended straight draw, and he could also counterfeit Tim on the river if a 10 comes as well, and the Jack and the 9 are still live, so lots of outs here for Tim to fade.
River card, please.
And the river card is the tray of hearts, so Tim is going to win this hand with his 2 pair and double up and keep his tournament hopes alive. It's been a great week here in Daytona Beach, Maria. It's always fun because the weather's beautiful here. Dom Nero, the poker room manager, always takes great care of us, and it's just a fun place to be. I love it down here. Tonight's winner, $122,353. Min cash, talked about it before, just over 14,000. So a lot of cash on the line here tonight on the HPT. Come out and join us sometime. You can check out our webpage at hptpoker.com. Look for an event that'll work for you. And who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash.
First to act is Allen, and he folds. Corey B folds right behind him. Vincent, not deterred by doubling up his neighbor that last hand, is going to raise it up here with King Jack offsuit, makes it 65,000 to go.
Fold it over to JC now. JC's going to fold. Over to Corey Z. He looks down at ace 10.
And Corey Z decides to 3-bet shove here with just 7 big blinds left with ace 10 offsuit. And obviously Vincent's going to be priced in to call. We'll see if anybody wakes up with a hand they want to play behind him.
There's one right there for Carlos. He looks down at pocket 5s.
Carlos hoping that lightning will strike twice and maybe flop another set of 5s this time around. Vincent also makes the call, so it's 3 ways to the flop, but one player, Corey Z, all in, and there's a side pot between Carlos and Vincent.
Corey Z told us before today's taping that he's always wanted to play on TV. For years, he's dreamed of being on the big stage, and he did it here at the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. And now he's hoping to hang around a little bit longer. The flop, a couple of 8s and a 7.
Action goes check, check for the side pot. The turn is the 3 of hearts. So Carlos has the best hand here with 8s and 5s.
Carlos is reaching for chips, and he's going to make a bet of 200,000. Now over to Vincent.
My name's Vincent Fiorenza. I'm from Oviedo, Florida, and I manage a bar in Maitland, Florida. I'm the chip leader. Ryan Colton is favorite to win because he's probably the best player in Orlando or in Florida for that. So if I get lucky and beat him, I might take it down.
And Vincent's going to fold, so we're going to go ahead and table the cards. And Corey Z is going to see that he needs a little bit of help here on the river.
Corey needs an ace, a 10, or a 7 to win here. Otherwise, he will be our 8th place finisher.
So the 10 of spades comes on the river. Corey Z is going to double up, keep his tournament hopes alive. He told me he likes to sleep, he likes coffee, and he loves to play poker. He's not going anywhere right now after that double up. He's hoping to beat our next HPT champion and go home with just over 122,000. We'll have more coverage after this quick commercial break. Don't go too far. You're watching the HPT.
Thanks for coming back to us here on the HPT. We've got a really exciting final table underway, so let's get right back to it.
Still 8 players remain. Vincent Fiorenza is still our chip leader, just under 4 million, so not much movement from him. Carlos Loving and Tim Woodson are in the 2nd and 3rd spot. We've got a couple of players all with 20 big blind stacks or less, but the shortest stack of them all is Ryan Colton with 425,000.
Blinds are 15,000, 30,000 with a 4K ante. Under the gun is that man right there, Vincent. He's going to go ahead and raise it up
You know, just from a few hands we've seen, Vincent has been fairly active so far at this final table. We'll see if that works for or against him. He raises it up here to 75K with ace-jack offsuit.
Now over to Tim. He's going to make the call with ace-king.
I don't know if I just love the call here with ace-king. I think I would have preferred a 3-bet from Tim. Vincent's been very active, like I just said, and we're 8-handed, so I think ace-king is a great spot for Tim here to 3-bet.
It's folded around now to Corey B. He's going to make the call with queen 10.
Corey completes the action from the big blind, so 3 ways to the flop.
And the flop is queen 9 tray. Couple of clubs. Corey B's first. He's going to check. Over to Vincent. Maria, this guy has no fear. He's in most of the pots. Not afraid to get his chips in there.
And here's kind of the problem with just flat calling ace-king is now Vincent bets 85,000 on this board and you haven't connected, and you also have Corey left to act as well. So I think Tim might just let this hand go because it's not really a spot where you want to call.
Tim is going to fold.
I think if he had 3-bet pre-flop, he would have defined his hand a little bit more and he would have been able to take control of this pot.
Corey B is going to make the call.
I'm Corey Burbick from Deadwood, South Dakota, and I'm a professional poker player. If I win, I'll just be a little less belly up and I'll have a little bit more money to play some of these.
The turn card is the 10 of diamonds, and we'll see if Corey B bets this time.
So Vincent turns an open-ended straight draw and he puts Corey B all in, and Corey quickly makes the call. Corey has 2 pair here. Vincent has an open-ended straight draw.
And now we go to the river card. And the river card is another 10, this time the 10 of hearts. So the full house for Corey B. He's going to win this hand. And Vincent's getting beat up a little bit at this final table.
Yeah, I think sometimes you come in as a chip leader, so you want to establish the aggression and put everybody else to the test early on, but sometimes you get involved in big pots unnecessarily, which I think Vincent did in this case, and so far it's not working out for him. Corey Burbick, however, is going to double up this hand.
Blinds are 20,000, 40,000 with a 5K ante. It's James Larson and Maria Ho. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on the HPT. Action will start with Tim Woodson. On a little bit of a heater, Maria. Now he wakes up here with pocket sixes.
So Tim is going to limp in here with sixes. I don't know if Corey B started that trend with limping under the gun with ace-king earlier. You don't see a lot of limps under the gun anymore.
Fold it over to Carlos in seat number 2. Looks down at pocket sevens. He doesn't raise either. He just makes the call. And now over to Allen.
And Allen has ace-queen of diamonds and about 11 big blinds, so he's just going to move it in here.
Action over to Tim now.
And I think with Carlos behind him, Tim might fold the sixes because Tim doesn't really want to call here and have to face maybe a reshove by Carlos. But Carlos is going to quickly call here.
Hi, I'm Carlos Loving. I'm a professional poker player and poker coach. I live in Sarasota, Florida. My strategy is to adjust to my opponents and basically take advantage of their strategies. So I'm going to learn how they play and adjust to that.
Carlos, he's going to see that he's going up against Allen's suited ace-queen. Allen owns an insurance agency in Ohio, loves to play the game of golf, and he's only been playing poker for 2 years.
And that 7 in the window all but kills Allen's hopes here. What was a flip before the flop has Allen just a 2% chance to win now. Allen's going to need running cards to a bigger boat.
Turn card now is another 7, just to make matters worse. The 7 of hearts quads for Carlos, and we will go to the river, but it's not going to matter. The winner is going to be Carlos, and Allen is going to be eliminated, our first person eliminated tonight, going out 8th place, but a nice little payday for him, $14,274. The guy's only made $60,000 in his career, so this is a nice payday for him. Thanks for playing, Allen, and enjoy your cash.
Just 1 elimination so far at this final table. 7 players remain. Come back for more poker action here on the HPT.
Welcome back to the HPT. It's James Larson and Maria Ho. 7 players remain at our nationally televised final table, coming to you this week from the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. And Maria, I say we just delve right back into the action.
Vincent Fiorenza is the chip leader with just under 4 million. Carlos Loving now has 3.2 million. Tim Woodson has 1.1 million, and our short stack is JC Restrepo with 375,000.
Min cash at this final table now 17,231 for the next player eliminated. Up top though, just over 122,000. We'll go to our champion tonight here from Daytona Beach. Blinds are 20,000, 40,000 with a 5K ante. Action will start with JC. He's going to fold.
JC's just looking for a good spot to put all his chips in the middle, but that wasn't it. Action is folded over to Carlos. He has Queen Jack offsuit.
Carlos is going to go ahead and raise it up now to 80,000 with his Queen Jack. Folded over to Tim.
Tim Woodson, Melbourne, Florida, and I play poker for a living. It's pretty important, you know, I'm here for the money. Trying to go get it, and I know there's some good players, but I'm going to go after it.
Tim looks down at pocket nines from the big blind.
No 3-bet here. He's just going to make the call with his pocket nines.
Carlos has 2 overs to Tim's pair here, and he also has position.
Heads up now to the flop. 2 aces and a 9.
Lot of boats and sets and quads being made at this final table. Tim here has flopped a boat, nines full of aces. It's interesting that Tim is electing to lead out here. I think he could have gotten a bet out of Carlos here, but I don't know if Carlos is going to call the 80,000 or if he's just going to let it go. There is a flush draw on the flop, so maybe Carlos thinks that that's what Tim's betting.
Carlos does make the call, 80,000 and a call. Turn card now, the 6 of clubs.
Now I think I would like it if Tim checks it over to Carlos.
He's going to do just that, trying to set the trap. Carlos reaching for those placards. He's going to make a bet, 220,000.
And I think Tim checked it over to Carlos so that Carlos could try to represent an ace here. And it looks like Tim's just going to make the call.
Tim does just that. He makes the call.
And I think what would be a really interesting play by Tim is if the spade doesn't come off on the river, Tim leads into Carlos, which I think would confuse Carlos enough to maybe get him to call with queen high. But with the deuce of spades on the river, I think Tim might just have to bet into Carlos here.
And it's an all-in bet. And Carlos is going to fold. And he shows his pocket nines, and he's going to win this pot.
I think based on the way Tim played it, though, he pretty much got the maximum out of Carlos. I like the way that he played this hand, and, you know, I'm really impressed so far with Tim's post-flop game.
Tim's 32 years old, hails from Kansas City, Missouri. He's got 51,000 in lifetime earnings. Just under 2,000 invested in this tournament here in Daytona Beach. Min cash right now for 7th place, just over 17,000. And up top, I like to talk about the money because it's life-changing. Just over 122,000 for our champion tonight. It's folded around now to Corey B in the 4 seat. He's going to make the call with queen 5 suited in hearts. Over to Vincent. Vincent's going to check in the big blind, check his option. So a battle of the blinds now.
The flop is ace queen 7, so both players got a piece here. Corey has middle pair of queens. Vincent has top pair of aces.
Corey's going to check it over to Vincent.
45. And I think this is where Vincent's overly aggressive image is actually going to help him, because I think he could get 3 streets of value with top pair against Corey's middle pair, because at this point I don't think he has a lot of credibility with the other players at the table.
The bet by Vincent is 45,000 chips, and Corey B makes the call. Turn card now, the queen of diamonds.
Ooh, now Corey gets lucky against Vincent making trips here. But I think he should check it over to Vincent, because I think he knows that if he did, Vincent would bet it for him.
The last time the HPT was here in Florida, Vincent finished 13th place. Corey's going to make a bet of 50,000 chips, and Vincent makes the call. The river card now is the 10 of diamonds.
The pot's about 300,000, but I don't think Corey loves this river card. He's going to check it over to Vincent. And I don't think Vincent is going for value. I think he is trying to turn his hand into a bluff, but I don't think he's going to get Corey to fold here.
And the bet by Vincent is 210,000 chips. Over now to Corey.
Call.
And he's going to make the call. We flip over the cards. And Corey's going to see that he's the winner. 3 of a kind. His 3 queens are going to win this pot of 720,000 chips. All right, Maria, it's time to step aside from the felt for my favorite segment in the show. We call it A Poker Life with Doyle Brunson.
Doyle's always got the best stories for us here on the HPT, and today he reflects on the good old days.
I realized that it was a bad spot, but again, it was an adventure, and it was just so excited and competitive, and it was just fun. I mean, I had a blast. I mean, we had good times beside the dangerous times we've talked about. We had good times too. You know, we had a lot of good friends. You know, we had some good experiences. It just something we had to accept, and you know, that's the glamorous side that everybody sees. You know, it's and that's probably what you guys layer more, but it wasn't. I mean, there were a lot of good people, and we had good times and good companions, and like I say, it was fun.
Welcome back to the HPT. James Larson and Maria Ho. We come to you this week from the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. 7 players remain. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chip counts.
Vincent Fiorenza is still our chip leader, but not by much, as Carlos Loving is very close behind him. Tim, JC, and Corey all have over $1 million in chips, and our 2 short stacks are Corey Zarnock and Ryan Colton.
All these guys have to be so happy, playing on national TV, playing for life-changing money, and we're in beautiful, sunny Florida. I could live down here. I might just stick around for a little while. Action is on JC. He's going to raise it up to 90,000 with his pocket 4s. Fold it around to Tim. He's been on a heater since this broadcast started. He's going to make the call with 7-5 of spades.
Flop is 7-3 deuce with 2 diamonds, so Tim has flopped top pair. JC, though, probably doesn't mind this flop that much. His 4s still look kind of good.
So the bet by Tim, 130,000 over to JC. Got into this event on a qualifier, so he won the golden ticket. So this guy's on a complete free roll.
Tim bets 130,000 and JC makes the call. And I think there are a lot of turns that might make JC not like his hand so much. The 8 of hearts could be one of them, but I don't know if Tim is going to still bet this or not.
Tim Woodson, he started today with 506,000.
Tim checks it over, and I don't like that I see JC reaching for chips here. I think this is kind of the situation where you probably just check back, hope to get to showdown, and hope that the 4s are good. I don't think Tim has plans to fold here.
And JC's going to bet 125,000 chips. And Tim is going to make the call. Tim making very calculated and the right decisions at this final table. He's really impressed me here since we've started tonight's broadcast. 8 of diamonds now on the river. Over to Tim. You can see the percentages. He's going to check over to JC.
Hi, I'm JC Restrepo. I'm from Orlando, originally from Colombia. Yeah, I'm kind of, you know, it's exciting. It's very stressful as well. Just gonna be calm, you know, just relax and wait for a good hand.
I think JC, unless he wants to turn his hand into a bluff here and bet this river, is probably just hoping that Tim has 3s or something that he could beat.
Both players are going to check, and we're going to flip over our cards. Somebody's got to flip them over. It's going to be JC, 8s and 4s, but it's going to be the losing hand as Tim has a higher 2 pair. 8s and 7s, so more chips go to that man. Tim Woodson in the 6th seat, hoping to be our newest HPT champion and go home with that title and the huge payday here from Daytona Beach. James Larson and Maria Ho with you. I want to thank you for joining us tonight here on the HPT. Under the gun is Tim. He's going to fold over to JC. Looks down at the dreaded 7 deuce.
Folded to Corey Zarnock. He looks down at 10-7. Not the kind of hand he wants to play with his 15 big blinds.
Folded over now to the 2-seat of Carlos. Carlos folds. Corey B is going to make the call in the small blind with his king 4. And now the option to Vinny in the big blind, and he's going to check with his jack deuce of clubs. Once again, a battle of the blinds. The flop is king 6-5, 2 clubs.
So Corey has paired his king here, but Vincent has flopped a flush draw. And it seems that each time these players lock horns in the blinds, both players get a piece.
Corey's going to make a bet of 60,000 chips. Can't see Vincent getting away from this hand.
My strategy today would be to just play my game, put a lot of pressure on opponents, and take it down, hopefully. If I win the tournament, plan is to retire. Quit my job because I can't stand working.
And he's going to make the call. 60,000 and a call.
Turn card, please.
Turn card is the 8 of spades. Action to Corey B. Slows down now. He checks over to Vincent.
And Vincent decides that he wants to see a free card now with his flush draw.
Both players checking. River card, not a club. It's the 7 of diamonds.
This is kind of interesting because I think if Corey does check it over to Vincent, which I think he will, there's a chance that Vincent might try to represent the 9 or the 4 here. But as we can see, Corey does have the bottom straight, so he's not going to fold. But I don't actually mind this bet from Vincent.
Vincent bets 160,000, and Corey's going to make the call, and Vincent's going to throw his cards in the muck, and Corey's going to win this hand with his straight and take a pot of 555,000 chips.
Vincent came into this final table as the chip leader, but it's kind of been going downhill for him. However, he still does have a lot of chips to play with, so we'll just see how he rebounds from these couple of lost pots.
Blinds are going up now. 25,000, 50,000 with a 5K ante. James Larson and Maria Ho. We broadcast this week from the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room right here in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. Folded around to the 8 seat of Corey Z.
He looks down at ace 10 of spades.
He's going to go ahead and raise to 110,000 to the 1 seat of Ryan, and he's going to 3-bet shove with his ace jack of diamonds.
Ryan has 11 big blinds, so that's most of Corey's stack if he wants to call, but given that Corey did come in with the raise here, I don't know if he thinks he could fold this hand.
315. I call.
And he does make the call. He's going to see that he's dominated by Ryan's hand here. And if Corey Z were to lose this pot, he would be on life support.
Ryan in the 1 seat. His plans for the cash are to start a college fund for the kids. And last time we were here, Ryan's best friend won this event, Wes Holland. He's trying to do the same thing his friend did just a few months ago. The flop is queen 9-8.
So both players have gut shot straight draws. They need each other's card in order to make their straight. Ryan's ace jack is still in the lead.
Both players smiling a little bit, and there is the 10 of hearts.
So now Ryan does have a straight. Corey needs a jack to chop here, otherwise Ryan is going to double up.
And the river card is the king of hearts.
Ryan improves to Broadway on the river and doubles up through Corey, so he's going to leave Corey fairly short stacked after that hand.
Ryan is 30 years old, works in sales, grew up not too far from Daytona Beach in Orlando, Florida. He's a sales headhunter / recruiter in the oil and gas industry. We come back from this quick commercial break. 7 players will battle it out, and we'll find out who our new champion is going to be. Don't go too far. You're watching the HPT. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the HPT. James Larson and Maria Ho. We are at the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. A lot of money up for grabs. Let's head back and pick up final table action.
Carlos Loving is our new chip leader with $2.8 million. Vincent Fiorenza, who was our chip leader, is now in the 2nd spot, not too far behind Carlos, though. And our short stacks are Ryan Colton and Corey Zarnock, who have about 15 big blinds each.
I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the HPT tonight. Blinds are 25,000, 50,000 with a 5K ante. Under the gun will be seat number 2, and Carlos. He's going to fold. Fold it over to Vinny. Vinny just hasn't had any traction at tonight's final table. Action over to Tim, who's had just the opposite of that. He's just running great tonight. He folds. JC now is going to make the call with pocket 3s.
I don't like that call by JC on the button with 3s. I think when you're JC and you have a short stack, you need to just move all in, because now Corey Z with ace-4 is going to move all in, and Ryan in the big blind has 7s. And I think, you know, when you have 10 big blinds or less and it's folded to you and you got a pair, you have to just go all in with it. However, he is going to get saved this hand because Ryan has the bigger pair, and he's going to make the call, putting Corey Z at risk here.
I'm Ryan Colton from Orlando, Florida. I'm in sales, and today I'm a poker player. I mean a lot, man. I play poker quite a bit, and this would kind of just prove that I'm meant to be here.
Okay, so it's pocket 7s going up against the ace-4, and we go to the flop. And the flop is Queen Jack 7, all hearts. So Ryan flops a set. Corey Z does have the ace of hearts. Pot size of 845,000 chips. Corey Z just trying to hang around a little longer.
Turning quads.
The turn is the queen of spades, so now Corey is actually drawing dead because Ryan has a full house. Corey will become our 7th place finisher.
So that's going to do it for Corey Z. He smiles. We talked about it before. He always wanted to play on the big stage, national television. He did that. He made it to this final table, and for his efforts, going home with just over $17,000. The action continues here from the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. James Larson and Maria Ho. Blinds are 25,000, 50,000, 5K ante. We will only have one winner tonight, the champion. He'll go home with 122,353. The min cash now for 6th place will be 20,391. A lot of money that we're playing for here on tonight's episode of the HPT.
Carlos limps in here with ace-4 of clubs.
Over to Vinny now. Vinny's got his mother in the audience. Her name is Tony.
Vincent raises to 120,000 here with pocket jacks from the small blind. Tim's going to let the big blind go.
Vincent started as our chip leader at tonight's final table, but just we talked about this before, hasn't really gotten anything going, but now he wakes up with the pocket jacks, raises to 120,000. Carlos is going to make the call. And the flop is ace, king, deuce, rainbow.
So that's not a great flop for Vincent. He really didn't want to see 2 overcards to his pair there on the flop. Flop goes check, check though. And Carlos has now turned a flush draw to go with his top pair from the flop.
And the bad luck for Vincent continues. He checks over to Carlos.
Sometimes you just end up having second best all the time, and it can get very frustrating, but what's important is how you come back from that. Poker is so psychological and so mental that you really have to make sure that you don't let losing pots get you down and start making you play badly.
Carlos bets 80,000. Vincent's going to raise now to 225.
And it's interesting that Vincent picks these spots to turn his hand into bluffs. I don't know if this is a great spot to do that. And also Vincent's lost a little bit of credibility because people have seen him make some bluffs. So I don't know if this is necessarily the best play right now for him.
Carlos makes the call. The river card is the 6 of spades. Vincent's going to check over to Carlos. Carlos does the same. They're going to flip over the cards. And Vincent's going to find out once again he was outflopped, and the winner of the hand will be the 2 seat of Carlos Loving. All right, Maria, it's time to step aside for a quick commercial break. But before we go, I just want to say we've seen some awesome poker, as we always do when we visit Daytona Beach.
You can always find a lot of great pros here down in Florida, and we've got a really exciting final table going on. So please come back for more HPT action.
Welcome back to the HPT. It's James and Maria. We broadcast this week from beautiful, sunny Daytona Beach, Florida, right here at the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. Only 6 players remain. We're getting closer and closer to crowning our new HPT champion. Let's head down to the felt.
Carlos Loving is now starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. He has $3.5 million. Vincent Fiorenza has $2.3 million. The rest of the players are all over the $1 million mark except for JC, who has $300,000. That's just 6 big blinds.
All right, the action continues now from Daytona Beach. 25,000, 50,000 with a 5K ante.
Just for men for the final table.
Corey Burbick looks down at ace-6 offsuit and folds.
Action over now to Vinny. Vincent's going to raise it to 110,000 with King 10.
You got to admire his tenacity. I mean, he really hasn't let up much despite losing several pots in a row.
Action over now to our chip leader, the 2-seed of Carlos Loving.
He has King Jack offsuit, and he is going to make the call here from the big blind. So 2 players to the flop, the 2 chip leaders.
And the flop is Queen 9-8 Rainbow. Action's on Carlos. He's going to check over to Vincent.
Both players have a gut shot straight draw here. Vincent does have the betting lead, and obviously we've seen Vincent very rarely lets his foot off the gas pedal, so he's going to bet 110,000 here.
Action to Carlos. And Carlos is going to go ahead and make the call. 110,000 chips.
Turn is the 3 of hearts, so neither player has improved.
Both players checking the tray of hearts. And the river card is the Jack of Hearts.
So actually, Vincent got incredibly lucky here. Carlos pairs his Jack, but that gives Vincent the straight.
Finally, something goes right for Vincent in the 5-seat. Catches the Jack on the river. Makes his straight, and he's grabbing for some of those plaques. Have you played with these plaques before, Maria?
Yeah, I have. Usually you see them a lot in Europe, actually, and they're kind of fun. Kind of makes it easier than stacking chips, actually.
And that is a bet of 380,000.
It feels kind of like James Bond
Sure.
to play with plaques, I think.
Carlos does pair his Jack there on the river, Maria, but I can't see him making this call.
Well, you know, his pair of jacks doesn't really look good with the rest of this board, but I feel like people are so used to seeing and expecting Vincent to be bluffing that he might just get called. And, you know, I like Vincent's bet size here because he knows that there is a good chance he's going to get called, so he decides to bet on the bigger side.
Call.
And it worked. Carlos does make the call, and Vincent is going to win the hand with his straight and a pot of 1,255,000 chips. So finally something goes right for Vinny in the 5-seat. Talked about it before last year. He placed 13th at this same event, so he's been down this road before. Everybody wants to be our new HPT champion. The cash, of course, $122,353. Over to JC now. Looks down at Ace-King. And he's going to shove all in.
JC on a pretty extreme short stack here is lucky to wake up with Ace-King. He's no doubt going to get a call from the blinds at least.
Folded over now to Vinny in the 5-seat. And he's going to make the call with pocket queens.
And now Tim behind him with 8s. I think he's just going to make the call, though. I don't think he sees much value in re-raising here and isolating. He is giving it some thought, though, but he's not going to like it if he puts more chips in this pot because Vincent is going to come back with a reshove.
Tim's been making the right decisions here at this final table. We'll see what he does here with his pocket 8s, and he's going to fold them. So we're going to flip over our cards, and JC's going to realize he's behind here to the pocket queens of Vincent.
I'm shocked that Tim didn't at least see a flop. Vincent just called there. He didn't 3-bet. Either way, that was the right decision. So it's a classic coin flip here for JC's tournament life.
JC is into this event for $0. Right in the window, Maria. Queen of hearts. The flop comes queen 6-5. Not good news for JC.
He does have the king of clubs, though, so if he can catch running clubs, he will make the bigger flush. The turn is the ace of spades, so that's going to mean JC is drawing dead going into the river.
So the winning hand is a set of queens for Vincent, and that's going to eliminate JC. He's going out in 6th place, just over $20,000. Nothing wrong with that. We just talked about it. He's into this event for $0 as he won a side event, won that golden ticket to be a part of this HPT event. Congratulations to JC. We hope to see you again. All right, folks, we're all out of time on tonight's episode. We had a lot of fun, and make sure to tune in next week to find out who our new champion is going to be. Now, Maria, you're the resident pro here, and the brains and the beauty. I have to ask you, what did you think of the play at tonight's final table?
Well, then what are you doing here, James?
That's a great question. That's a real... Who knows?
So I really feel like the play has been exceptional so far, and you know, that's kind of what we're expecting when we come down here to Daytona Beach. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of these players amp up their aggression. I think they felt each other out enough, and now it's really time to take this one home.
Now, if you think you have what it takes to play on the national stage, why not give it a shot? Once again, check out the webpage at hptpoker.com. For Maria Ho, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time on the HPT.